Lucy!
Lucy, we got a film.
The Grand Prix.
That's Lando Norris.
Wait, woman who be thinking we soft, we don't play. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hold up. Hey, woman who be thinking we soft, we don't play. We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Ciao. That's not hello.
No.
No, it's not hello.
But very on brand for Ollie Behrman. Ciao. That was.
Ciao.
I'm actually really upset that that's gone. I miss Ollie Behrman's ciao.
What you're gonna say? I miss Ollie Behrman. I was gonna like,
I miss Ollie. Here, Ollie Behrman
It's
cooked.
not gone.
We'll get into that. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 21, I think, of Lights Out, Let's Talk. John is back with us again. John has returned, who's getting a lot of love on Twitter and TikTok.
The people love
I'm
John.
actually famous though.
People love John. Anyway, welcome back. And this week we were racing in Japan, or as Beth likes to put it, Suzuka.
Suzuka.
That's my fave track. I literally don't know it. No, it's not actually. Hashtag. Not anymore.
So, this was by far the most boring race.
Yeah.
It comes close to Monaco last year.
I crawled my way out of bed and I think I was asleep for at least half the race.
Okay.
But that's okay. We get boring races. That's fine.
It happens.
At least nobody was injured. Except my soul. But this is okay. Now, we have our little segments that we're going to go through this week with talking through Media Day, FP1, 2, 3, Quali, the race. But there's a couple of little random things that have happened between filming of last week's podcast and filming of this week's podcast that I kind of want to touch on because some of them flabbergasted that they openly admitted this. Beth, would you like to kick us off?
Oh, this one, right? It was on April Fool's Day, so I woke up and I was like looking at these messages that people had sent me. I was like, ain't no way, like, haha, funny joke, why have you all got the same joke? No, it's not a joke. Kimmy Antonelli went on, was it the Fast and the Curious podcast?
Yeah.
Openly admitted
Always the Fast and the Curious podcast.
Literally.
PR training goes out the window as soon as you're with them. So fair, mine would say. Kimmy Antonelli openly admits to the world that he and Ollie Behrman stole Ollie's trainer's credit card and went on a shopping spree, but sent everything they bought to his house.
This is my question. Okay, it's credit card fraud, yes. Is it theft? Because they sent it to him.
Yeah, he's got all the product.
The initial theft of the card is theft.
Yeah.
The rest of it is not.
Apparently, he just said, "Good luck in F1" after it happened.
Love.
But
I just remember waking up to TikTok in absolute turmoil of being like, why are all the F1 drivers committing crimes? Because not only did we have Kimmy and Ollie admitting to credit card theft and fraud, we had Franco Colapinto forging Charles Leclerc's signature.
do you know what? Though? I
Guys.
don't actually think he forged it. I'm pretty sure he just wrote Charles across the
I actually don't know, but it was him being like, I know Charles' signature. Do you want it? And we were like,
Yeah, I fit.
Franco.
Yeah, it's Franco though. So honestly, what did we expect?
the man doesn't care. The man does not care.
He does what he wants.
He does what he wants. Speaking of who else does what he wants, I think this was Brooke's most exciting news of the week.
Lance Stroll now is on TikTok. A lot of the drivers are coming up on TikTok nowadays. I know Lewis is on TikTok now, but Lance is the introvert we all can relate to.
And he posted the most iconic TikTok as well.
He's actually like so funny. Like I don't think people realize how funny he is because he doesn't speak a lot, but He is hilarious, and he posted a TikTok with Fernando, and I'm not quite sure who the other guy was. Someone with Aston Martin. And Fernando goes, "Hello, is this for your fans?" And I
Yeah.
literally was giggling at
No, it
Fernando's
was the one
hello.
of him sitting at the table, and it was just like the slow zoom, and it was like, you're really quiet, and it was like, I know my social battery ran out. I was like, literally me though.
He's literally so relatable.
That really made me giggle. That was good. That was funny. And then we also had another very exciting project that has been spoken about for a while. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of hype leading up to this.
It
Worth it.
has. Mhm.
Yeah.
Little quadrant X Liberty Walk. Oh, that again, linking back to F1 drivers admitting illegal things. Lando did an interview about it, and he said, "Yeah, it's probably illegal," which
He
is
did.
good. I don't know if you
It's-
saw this interview
What?
because
He
they
did
had,
say this.
you know, the car meet.
Yeah.
He was talking about the car meet, and he was like, "You know, it's probably illegal, which is good." And I was like, "Lando."
To be fair, his whole quadrant launch thing was like them committing crimes.
Yeah, it
It was
was
them
the rebrand.
speeding, cycling on a main road, car driving up a airstrip, spray painting the side of a plane, spray painting the side of a van. The only ones who didn't break the law were the fangirls. Like, we were the cool, calm, and collected ones in that video. Yeah, well, F1 drivers versus crime.
No more crime, please, guys.
Guys, stop breaking the law. Okay?
Please.
Please stop it. Lando Norris disqualified from the Monaco Grand Prix as he's in prison.
That was my like break-in graphic that I made on the morning of the Ollie and Kimmy one, the break-in.
Breaking news. Behrman
What was it?
and Antonelli
Yeah.
arrested.
Arrested.
Yeah. Okay, now we move on to Media Day, which honestly, not a lot happened. Can't lie.
Yeah, the only thing that happened was Liam was welcomed back to RB, and they had like a sign for him saying that we missed you, and it was actually really cute.
It broke my heart though, because I was kind of like, this is so sweet. And also like, but one thing I want to point out, RB are still slaying with the TikToks. I had the fear whenever the little switcheroo happened. I was like, are we like, is it only gonna be Isaac in the TikToks now? I was like, I won't be mad. Live, laugh, love Isaac Hajar. Which I love how everyone, whenever he first got accepted in the F1, was like, Isaac, and now he's like everyone's adopted son. Everyone loves Isaac Hajar. And I was like, but yeah, the Liam thing really like pulled on a little heartstring for me.
It's very sweet. I think maybe they knew that he needed like a little bit of like boosting because he just got demoted from Red Bull, like a little pick me up. Yeah. It's really sweet.
Cute though. I loved it. And then we also had Lando Norris arriving in style, can we say? We all know Lando Norris is a man of cars. They're all F1 drivers, but Lando Norris's car collection is something else. And
Beautiful.
he rocked up. He rocked up to Media Day with the Liberty Walk with the Liberty Walk Quadrant collaboration car. That's what I meant to say, which was a custom Nissan R32 Skyline, which I've seen a lot of people having a bit of beef with the custom on it. I've seen a couple people having beef, but I feel like that's just Lando haters. I thought it looked class. I thought it looked so cool. And then we also got the video of him rocking up with, I don't know who was in the car. I think it was Pierre and someone else. Was it
Pierre and Jack in the Alpine?
Yeah, and they were like, it would look better as an Alpine or something. They shouted at him.
Yeah.
Made me chuckle. But way to make an entrance. Way to make an entrance to the weekend. Arrive in a cool car.
And then we got racing. We got on track. We were waiting for it. Lucy didn't wake up because it was at 3:30 in the morning.
Whoa, there's really no need to expose me like that.
Lucy texted me and said, make sure you make notes because I'm staying in bed.
Listen, in my defense, I was reading the new Hunger Games book.
That's
And
fair.
I was drawn in.
But do you
Fair.
know what? Some may say that these sessions were the most interesting part of the weekend, and I would agree.
Yeah.
So in FP1, we had Carlos missing his pit box. And I know loads of people were like, oh my God, it's because he's forget that Ferrari. No, guys. No, guys. Suzuka is in inverted pit lane. It's the opposite way around. So Williams are at their pit entrance instead of the pit exit. So he got in the car, he was driving, and then he was like, oh, we're at the other end. So he had to go around again.
It's
Yeah,
so
the bunch of
funny.
people that were like, he's missing Ferrari on his mind. And I'm like,
No, because normally Ferrari would be where Williams.
yeah, I was like, guys, no. But
I'm gonna be for real. I did not know that Suzuka had an inverted pit lane. So I was like, oh, maybe he was missing Ferrari. But now I know.
Just wait till
no,
we get to Silverstone.
it has an inverted pit lane. So Williams came ninth last year, so they're ninth in the pit lane. But in Suzuka, they're second.
Okay, interesting.
So
Right.
he was like, he just dawdled on past it and then was like,
Yeah. Just wait till we
Missed
get to the Silverstone pit lane. That's going to cause some fun. Anyway, why are you crying about Silverstone pit lane?
I'm stressed for Silverstone.
No, it's fine. We got this. We're gonna cook it hard.
Silverstone vlog coming to you in approximately 90 days.
Ollie Behrman days until FP1.
85 days until I fly out.
Imagine if I just leave you at the airport just for the fun.
Well, I
Two flies off.
have your ticket, so that's not a very smart choice.
Oh yeah.
I'll leave you at the airport, but I won't be able to get into the track.
Nah, I can go Thursday. It's fine.
You're there.
That's it.
You see Sam Fender, and that's it.
And then oh no.
Someone's
Oh.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Lucy.
what is going on? Oh, Lucy's
worry, Beth.
like a pixel.
What happened?
Okay,
you're
you're good
back.
now. You were a robot.
You were just like moving in like such
Oh,
slow
did
motion.
Oh my god, it's normally Beth. Wow.
No, I thought it was me, and then I looked and saw you like having like a weird
You were-
moment. I was like, okay, it's not me.
Just entering my robot era.
Anyway, the FIA were actually on one this weekend, handing out fines and warnings and penalties, and our first one went to Kimi Antonelli because he was speeding in the pit lane. Straight up €100 fine. It's not even that deep. That's like nothing to the team.
No.
yeah, top change.
Lando was reunited with his one true love of Floves.
Lando and Flovis.
As
Is
soon
it
as I
more
saw it on the
iconic
car,
duo?
I was like,
What is McLaren's obsession with just absolutely drowning him in it?
I don't know. Maybe they should give it to Oscar one time.
Just
to
spread the
have a
love.
break.
Just gas the other driver for a little bit.
And then at 4 a.m., I could not distinguish between the 6 white cars on the track.
Confusing.
They were doing laps, and I was like,
So
is
bad.
this Ollie? Is this Max? Is this Leon?
For those who are watching this at a later date than as this is posted, Red Bull ran under a white livery this week. Haas were also more white than normal, with their little cherry blossoms. So we had the 2 Red Bulls were white liveries, the 2 RBs were white liveries, and the 2 Haas's were white liveries. So every time someone turned a corner, you were like, who is that?
Are you?
But the session would not be complete without Max complaining about the car, Lando hating a sector of the track,
Oh yeah.
and actually, I feel like this was my only fight with Will Joseph this weekend, and it was actually quite funny because Lando was like, "My tires are graining, I can feel them," and Will was like, "No, they look fine. They look fine." And Lando was like, "No, I can see that they're graining. They're not fine."
Oh, Will Joseph, please.
Will, I
Listen,
guess they had the day.
Would it be an F1 weekend without a Will and Lando story time?
No, it wouldn't.
Exactly.
But that left us with Lando topping the timesheets, followed by George Russell and Charles Leclerc in our top 3.
Play. Then we moved on to FP2, which I don't know why I wrote this note in FP2 instead of FP1. I feel like this should have been an FP1 note, but it's a partially resurfaced track, which means slippy slides and scary scares and that's exactly what we got in FP2. So we had, beginning off, we had signs with car issues coming over the radio saying that it was his car, and I quote, "It's bouncing like crazy, check the rear." Don't think anything came of that, didn't see anything to do with that. He just pitted and was back out in a couple minutes. But then Jack Doohan brought out the red flags with a very, very big shunt. Arguably one of the largest shunts I've seen in like the last year, we'll say. It was a big, big crash. So it was 185 miles per hour, which is 300 kilometers an hour. So the way, now, I did not know this for a fact, so I apologize if this is not 100% correct, but this is what I've seen in researching it. The way Suzuka works is coming into turn one, the drivers have to manually turn off their DRS. It doesn't automatically close, which it often does at other circuits. So the drivers have to manually shut their DRS. Doohan did not. And turn one is flat out, full speed, round that corner, off you go. But he did it with his DRS open, meaning that he had absolutely zero rear downforce, and the back of the car just went, and he just went.
Jack Doohan versus physics.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, to be fair, whenever watching it, I was really confused at first because I was like, was that a car issue? Was that because it happened so fast that like
I think
the
even the
DRS,
commentators.
the DRS line is like right where the turn starts. So that was not the first thing I looked for. So I just saw him spin and I was like, that just looked like the back end of his car went like as if no rear downforce. I was like, so that must be a car issue. That must be a car issue. And then I started seeing everywhere that the DRS was open. And then I was like, oh, so it was a car issue. And then people were like, no, you have to like manually close your DRS. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, he'd apparently tried it on the simulator and had been able to complete that turn with the DRS open.
Well, was he playing on F124?
It's Alpine. Maybe.
Oh.
But yes, thankfully, Doohan is okay. He was in the car for quali the next day. I think he was in the car for FP3 the next day. And he had a little issue during the race, but we'll talk about that later. Supposedly there was no issues, no medical issues, no concussion, nothing like that, which is shocking with the impact that he had, but thankfully he was all good. But that brought out our first red flag of FP2. We then had our second red flag of FP2, which was Fernando Alonso just having a little wibble wobble, making his way into the gravel and not being able to get out of it. It happens.
He can't catch a break.
No, he really can't. Alonso's just like fighting for
He can't.
Then we had our third red flag. Immediately after the second red flag ended, pretty much the third red flag was out with the grass on fire in turn 8, which was very kindly reported by fireman Lando. It seems every single 5 minutes was just like fire in turn 8, fire here, fire here. He was our little fireman this weekend. So got that fire out, off they went on their own little way. Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton were then noted for failing to follow the race director's rules. I don't believe there was anything applied there. And then just as FP2 was about to end, a fourth red flag came out because once again, the grass was on fire, but this time at turn 17. Which then, because it was at the end, the FIA said that they weren't allowed to do any other practice starts because the grass was on fire. And for those wondering why the grass was on fire, basically, it was really, really dry in Suzuka, really dry grass. So the sparks coming off the cars just touched the grass and it just went, whee! And it exploded into flames, which left our timesheets with Oscar in first, Lando in second, and Isaac Hadjar in third. So
King,
icon. Well done, Isaac.
I thought you were gonna say the rest.
Oh no, we'll just do top
And FP3, speaking of Isaac, he was having a little bit of a seatbelt issue. So it was suspected and then I confirmed, I think later in the session. Um,
Have you
I
seen the
hope.
people are calling them racing balls?
No, my favorite one was Isaac Hajar's balls burst in a hydraulic press.
I have seen that one. Yeah, he was having a lot of issues
Poor man.
with his seatbelt, and he physically sounded like he was in pain.
Bro, visually, whenever they were trying to fix it, he was
Oh
like,
yes, face.
He was in severe pain. And at one point, were they talking about his boxers?
Yeah, they did at
They
one
were
point.
talking about like, oh, it was unhinged, but in a funny way. Not for Isaac though.
man's nearly lost the ability to have kids. I shouldn't laugh.
He did. He's just a little guy.
Ugh.
Hopefully everything is okay. I hope he is feeling a lot better.
Hope he's fine.
I hope he's- and then
Balls.
not too
No, the balls.
And then you'll never believe it, but we had another red flag. And for what you may think, more grass on fire. Not quite sure what turn it was in, but
The grass couldn't even catch a break this weekend.
literally.
Russ was cooking for real.
And then we had Carlos in the gravel with a big snap, possibly affected by Oscar. Maybe, I don't know. That led to Oscar being investigated. I don't think anything came of that.
He
I
got
think.
like, I'm pretty sure it was something, it could have been a different Oscar scenario, but there was something where he got like
Oh,
a formal warning to the driver and a formal warning to the team.
because that was in the pit.
But I don't know what the-
Yes.
Him and Max went into the second lane when
Yeah.
because it was like after
I just remember reading that last night when I was writing up these notes, and I was like,
And then Lance said, it feels weird. Something about Lance's car felt weird. Which is, I feel like it's like a little bit of a trend this weekend that stuff is not right with like either the cars or like something in the car. Odd. And now Lucy wrote these notes.
This is my note.
Oh,
Lucy
this
was
is-
like,
Oh, that's right.
diversity.
Lucy's also
I think you
frozen.
should read this one word for word.
How do you pronounce his name? Is it Jack?
Jax.
Jax? Jax dude on comms to be the fuck off. Lando's losing his cool. It's because Piastri is there.
That is a great note.
To be honest, he was also annoying me. I think he's the one who said he said something about someone was doing an outlap or their actual lap. He goes, the Jack Doohan corner where he crashed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
there
did.
was another Jack Doohan comment where I think it was actually after Jack's crash, where Crofty asked him, like, he was down at the corner, and Crofty was like, oh, like, Jack, how are you? And he was like, I'm doing better than Jack is. And I was like,
That's so
but it
unnecessary.
was so, like, early in the morning, I paused and I was like, did I hear that right?
Did I hear the correct message?
That's
Did
so
I hear that?
unnecessary. And you'll never believe it, guys. There was another fire, but this time we know the cause. Gabby was cooking a little bit too hard, and he set the car or the grass on fire.
As he should.
He was just
Alright.
cooking. He was just cooking. I don't know what else you want. But we ended FP3 with Lando in first, Oscar second, George third, and then Charles fourth, Max fifth.
Woo!
And then it was our favorite time of the weekend, quali time.
Quality day.
I have to say, I get so stressed at quali, especially like those last laps everyone's doing. I'm like, oh my God, stop, guys.
Oh, I can't watch.
But not a lot really happened. So Q1, it was just Isaac versus his seatbelt. Again. This poor guy could not catch a break. And do you know what? Fair play to him because he had this issue. He was clearly in a lot of pain. He was like, I'm pretty sure he said like he couldn't focus because it was hurting. Bro still cooked.
Well, bro, like, no harm. No, this is going to be such a vile sentence to say, and I don't mean it to be. You walk past, right, and you see a guy get ball tapped, and they're doubled over in pain, okay?
Yeah.
We've all seen Carlos versus Lando with the ball tapping saga, okay? They, like, are doubled over in pain. And that's just a little, like, that's it.
Oh,
Imagine going, she's tied right now. And you're flying and you're braking and you're moving? Nah.
oh, no, I can feel the pain.
I felt for him.
I think I would quit. I'd be like, I just can't do this.
I'd be like, DNF, guys. It's not worth it.
But we lost from Q1 from 20th to 16th. Lance Stroll. I don't know where Bru went. Jack Doohan, Esteban Ocon, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Nico Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg.
And then, once again, I think I've seen this film before. The grass was on fire again in Q2. And once again, welcome back, Fireman Lando. Straight on the radio. Grass is on fire, my guys. Yeah. So how many times does the grass actually go on fire this weekend? At least 6.
Too many.
5?
I
5
think so.
times. 5 grass fires. Guys, sort it out. Get a hose. Wet the grass.
Get some sprinklers.
Do better. Anyway. But that, once again, that was all that happened in Q2. Like, qualifying was really uneventful until the final 2 seconds of Q3.
Yeah.
But losing out in Q2 from 15th to 11th was Tsunoda, Lawson, Alonso, Sainz, and Gasly.
And then we move swiftly into Q3, and Ollie made it into Q3.
He was so happy.
He was ecstatic. He was cooking.
Again, just think about it.
He was cooking all session.
Oh yeah,
So it's
Beth
very deserving.
sobbed. Beth sobbed.
That is her Pookie, and she's so happy.
For my Pookie.
Yeah. And then the only other eventful thing was Max stealing that pole position from Lando with the biggest jump scare ever with a flyer of a lap.
Bro,
That's
I'm watching it and I'm sitting here and I'm like, yes, provisional pole for Lando. Keep it. Let's keep it this way. Let's stay on pole. Because realistically, whoever stays on pole in Suzuka wins the race. And we were like, let's go, Lando. Yes. And then steals pole. And I was like,
I was
whoa.
shook.
Even he was shook. Did you hear that radio message?
I was more happy to get pole position in Suzuka than he was when he won the World Championship in Vegas. I was like, so fair though, because that car has been questionable for a hot minute. So
actor.
I don't think anyone could have expected that to happen.
I wanted Oscar to steal it. Like, Oscar had not yet crossed the line whenever Max took provisional pole. And I was like, oh my god, Oscar, steal it. But he was down on time, so he wasn't gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just watching Oscar's lap. I hadn't even noticed Max's lap was on the screen. I saw Lando go first, and I was like, Oscar. I was like, okay, Oscar's yellow in the first sector. Yay, Lando's gonna be on pole. And then I just look and I just see Max Verstappen's name at the top.
I was like, hello? Max?
That's not Lando.
He just, hey, how you doing? Just in. I'm back.
So from 10th to 1st, we have Ollie Behrman, and 10th, Alex Albon, 9th, Lewis Hamilton, 8th, Isaac Hadjar, 7th, Kimi Antonelli, 6th, George Russell, 5th, Charles Leclerc, 4th, Oscar Piastri, 3rd, Lando Norris, 2nd, and Max Verstappen in 1st.
Can we talk about the 3 rookies in Q3, by the way? 3 rookies in Q3? A slay. So Ollie Behrman, Isaac Hadjar, and Kimi Antonelli, because slay.
Isaac Hadjar is really the best of the rest at the minute, and I love that for him.
He's
He's
cooking. And
killing it.
I'm live, laugh, loving Isaac Hadjar. And
Yeah.
his social media content is just next game.
Bro's so funny. Love him.
I find myself just absolutely like cry laughing at V Carbs. Well, are they still? Yeah, they are.
Mhm.
I don't know what they're called. Sugar-free Red Bull.
Love sugar-free Red Bulls. My fave.
Their TikToks are just, I'm just wetting myself at them. They're so funny.
They're so good.
It's all the Kardashian audios.
They are divas. That's what they are.
They
I
are.
love the one where it's like orange soda.
They're just so unserious, and I love that for them.
It's so
I love them.
No, who's feeding the admins at the minute? Because I feel like all my posts are so unhinged from the admins.
Dude, they're all doing that rat dance.
They're all doing the rat dance. We had inspirational words from Lando, which was just him.
I
We had at least 5 different angles of Oscar and Lando trying to work out how to dap.
And then we got the actual video of Lando. Ha.
We had was it V Carb that posted it where it was like they then did who has the best dap on the grid?
Yes.
Ollie was so upset that his wasn't good because he came up so confident. He was like, "Oh, have you not seen the one of mine and Isaac's?" And then he did it, and he was like he's been defeated by his own hand. I was like, "What?"
My guy, though, my guy.
I want to know what they're feeding the admins at the minute, but they're so funny. I'm
They're
just getting like
cooking.
the clip of Lando and Max coming out the pit lane at Suzuka to be uploaded to like beep beep, I'm a sheep or something like that because they've done that audio before whenever someone was on the grass.
There was a TikTok that I saw. A TikTok that I saw from Hugo Boss because they partnered with VCarb, but it was Toby from the Sidemen saying how much he misses Yuki. And it was so cute.
We live that love, Toby from the Sidemen.
We do.
Okay, and then Sunday fell upon us for the most boring race of the year thus far. Beth, take us away.
It was so boring, guys. It was so boring.
Yeah, it was hard to find notes for it.
We lined up on the grid. We lined up, and Lando and Max were looking like they wanted to crash into each other, and I was like, no. What, literally, you could not have them more angled at each other.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think if not, because it had rained in the morning, and Lando's grid box in front where his tires would be was like still damp, so it was like slippy. I fear if that wasn't there, they would have been practically in each other. That was
so scared. Beth, you can't just keep saying stuff like this. You can't keep doing this.
Dad, you need to think before words leave your mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, guys.
Our moment. I am coming on your camera, mate.
You're what? What are you doing?
What?
Because Lando had a very incredible reaction time compared to Max. He was quicker than Max. Stupid wet grid box. But Max had a lovely start too. I'll give it him. Simply lovely.
Didn't he?
And then on like lap 3, Max came on the radio and was like, I'm having issues with my upshift. And I was like, yes, something's gonna happen. Drama. And then they were like, nice fix, Max. I was like, oh, because you're not allowed to
There
start
is
it.
no drama.
No drama.
Our favorite diva, Alex Albon. I would like to say, when Alex came on the radio, it was not like he was angry and in last place. He was in like 9th place.
Yeah, he was scoring points.
I was like, Alex. But they changed something in the car and he didn't like it, is what I gathered. There was lots of angry words and lots of
My
swear
note
words.
was just not happy.
It was not.
Have you guys seen the TikToks of his radio messages with like some classical music on the background?
Putting classical music over a crash out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Incredible.
FIA back at it. Carlos Sainz noted for apparently leaving the track and gaining an advantage. No further action. He clearly didn't gain much of an advantage. And then it came time for the pit stops.
This was the only action we got.
Well,
It
first,
was.
before I get on to the action, I would just like to start. McLaren, you confused the living hell out of me. Because you said box to overtake Verstappen, and I get you were trying to decoy Red Bull, but would we not have wanted to pit Lando first so he could defend Verstappen? Like, I was watching this and I was like, okay, we're doing something right. And then they're like, no, stay out, Oscar, come in. And I was like, and then they went into the pits on the same lap as Max. Do you know what? I'm not even going to question it.
Everyone knew it was a decoy. Like, whenever they said overtake instead of undercut, I was like, what? And then I got really confused. And then I was like, okay, sure. And then I watched it and I was like, there's no way they're doing that already. And then Max didn't go in and then Lando didn't go in. And I was like, oh, well, there you go then.
I really thought they were going to use their brains and go for like an undercut though, because that was probably the only freaking time that they could have done something.
That was why I was confused. Was Will came on the radio and was like, box to overtake. And I was like, okay.
And then they pit them on the same lap, which again was also a very strange one from McLaren because anyway. But then McLaren had a stop that was a second faster than Red Bull, and I was like, well done, team.
I thought we were in.
And then as we pulled out of the pit lane, we were alongside Max Verstappen.
Da, 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 da.
And I think in the moment, my reaction was, Lando, what are you even trying to achieve here? Because there was no way Max was going to cross the pit line. He wasn't going to go get himself in trouble. Why did we not just come out literally behind him and then overtake him? But you know what?
Off.
Oh my God, he pushed me off. I didn't do anything wrong.
He literally pushed himself into the grass. He pushed me off.
The girls were fighting.
Austria 2024.
Yeah, literally, that was what I said in my TikTok reaction. I was like, you know what, close enough. Welcome back, 2024.
But, you know, no further action. The stewards were like, you know what? No one's pushed each other off. No one's done anything. It is what it is.
They were both just in a silly, goofy mood.
So,
And he wanted to mow the grass.
They knew the race was boring and they said, you know what, let's add something.
I set up. But while we were distracted by whatever Max and Lando were doing, Mr. Kimi Antonelli took the lead of the race and stole the youngest driver to lead a Grand Prix from Mr. Max Verstappen. So,
By 4 days as well.
By 4 days.
I know, that's insane. 4 days. Well done. Big up Kimi Antonelli.
Come on, Kimi. Good lads.
And then I fear this is the next part of the controversy.
Yeah.
With team orders. Team orders, I get the backmarking teams doing team orders. We had Haas doing them, we had Alpine doing them. Yep. Makes sense. And then we had Oscar come on the radio. I'm faster than him. Let me swap, or whatever he said. I can get Max. And in that moment, my heart kind of sank. I was like, they're not going to do this. That surely not. I mean, they didn't. But, and first off, Will Joe's, I
just got a really weird email from my university. We're looking for a student to film an ASMR style video.
Oh,
what the hell?
brother.
That's what I've always wanted to film. Maybe I should come.
Oh, I'll sign you up.
Thanks. Where was I? Oh, Oscar's radio. And first, did we need to telepathically tell Lando this message? Because Will Joseph never told Lando that this is what Oscar was asking for. And everyone was like, they should have stopped. Lando's not YN. He's not telepathically to Oscar. He's not going to know this is what Oscar's asking. Be so for real.
Do you know what else really annoyed me? It was all the people, and this was mainly on TikTok actually, more so than Twitter for once. All the people being like, it was literally Oscar's birthday. So?
No, I saw.
That went on to Twitter a little
You know where
bit.
Lando ended up on his birthday whenever he was racing close to his birthday in Las Vegas? The barrier. In the wall, in the hospital.
Oh.
No.
No one cares if it's his birthday. Lando's not going to be like, oh, you know what, mate? I'm actually going to let Max overtake me in the championship here just because it's your birthday. Have a good one.
Because I saw someone post, they were like, first it was his home race, and now his birthday. Lando Norris feels so selfish.
Lando's going to watch Oscar drift off into the grass and just go, you know what? If he can't win, none of us can be on that podium. What?
But
Sorry.
What?
Yeah.
People are actually irking me at the minute with their stupid, silly opinions. I understand. Would it have been nice for Oscar to have won on his birthday? Yes. But asking Lando to move aside, by the way, guys, let's look at the data here.
This is my second point I was going to make.
Yeah, let's look at the data. If you're making an argument and you haven't even looked at the data, you're already wrong. Lando was faster. So why would he move aside and just be like, yep, happy birthday.
Yes. No.
Wrong.
And
silly opinions.
So yeah, that was my next point. The data clearly that the McLaren pit wall can see during the race, guys, no one else can see this during the race, but they can see it during the race. Lando was I don't think it was a lot, but Lando was marginally faster. Lando had I think it was actually Andrea said that Lando had saved his tires so he could do the sort of back and forth and give it a go and then come back.
Yeah.
Because in Suzuka, the issue is once you're in the dirty air and the turbulence of the car in front, you're cooked.
Yeah.
And this is why I think what?
Clean air is king.
Clean air is key. I think this was also the issue, like people didn't realize with Oscar. Oscar had been so close to Lando, instead of doing the whole thing that Lando was doing and going back and forth, that Oscar's tires were cooked.
Yeah.
So realistically, Lando was faster. If Oscar couldn't overtake Lando, Oscar wasn't going to overtake Max. Case closed.
The end.
The end.
His birthday. Happy birthday, Oscar.
Happy birthday, Oscar.
Happy birthday.
But Charles Leclerc ended us with a little giggle, as always, with a, I don't do it for a reason. Charles.
I love his videos.
I love Charles Leclerc.
And guys, we achieved, honestly, right, whenever I wrote out my F1 2025 bingo card, I looked at one square and I said, this square is not going to happen for months. And that square was a 20-car finish. We did it! We had a 20-car finish. And not only that, but whenever Max Verstappen crossed that line in first, he became 4-time back-to-back Suzuka race winner, which means he's officially now beaten Schumacher's record. So our top 10 point scorers from 10th to 1st was Ollie Behrman, Alex Albon, Isaac Hadjar, Lewis Hamilton, Kimi Antonelli, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen. Now, there was a couple of moments that made me a little sad at the end. So even though, yes, after the crash with FP2, Jack Doohan had been reported all okay, everything was all Gucci. I think it's on like Now TV, you can also do it on Sky TV, where you can watch the drivers' onboards.
Yeah.
If you watch Jack Doohan's onboard at the end of the race, he was struggling to get out of the car. And Esty Bestie helped him out of the car.
That's our king.
That's our king. He looked to be in pain. Whether that's from injuries he sustained during FP2 that have not been published, or whether that's just it's been a harder race for him than what his body's used to. Could be that also. But yeah, he seemed to be in quite a bit of pain. So hope Jack's doing okay. Hope he's all good.
Yeah. It was so heartbreaking.
It was quite sad to watch, actually. I was kind of like, oh, hope you're all good. And our other one that came out, which, by the way, really made me giggle, which, once again, it shouldn't. Carlos Sainz received a €20,000 fine, 10,000 suspended if he doesn't do it again, which means if he doesn't do it again, he only has to pay 10,000. for not being in place during the national anthem, which, fair enough, whenever you put it like that, whenever it's written out in that official statement, not in place during the national anthem, €10,000 fine, you're like, well, rules are rules. But he had a medical issue that has been confirmed a medical issue. Bro was having issues with his tummy, and that was the most expensive bathroom break he's ever taken in his life.
Oh, poor
You know what?
guy.
It's so kind of them to reduce it from the normal like 60,000 or whatever it is because he had a medical issue. They said, we'll let you off a little bit, but still.
Well,
Like,
to be fair, all that takes then is like another driver can't be asked to go to the national anthem and just goes, had a sore stomach, was in the bathroom. So they've still been like, there is still a fine.
yeah.
But yeah, felt bad for him there, but that's also like really hilarious. Man's had a €10,000 shit.
Fair rating.
So fair play,
Oh.
Carla. And now it is time for Beth's weekly scheduled rant instead of Lucy's, because Beth felt more passionate on this subject.
I was passionate about this subject, all right. Jesus Christ.
You've got 5 minutes.
Right, Jacques Villeneuve. I respect him. He's a world champion. You know, he knows what he's doing. I'm not going to bash him for being good at the sport because that would be mean of me. He is a world champ. He's won races. He's doing his own thing. However, he stepped in the commentary box on Friday, and I didn't really notice during free practice 1. I thought, it's fine. Free practice 2 came. I was like, okay. I probably was half asleep, so I wasn't really paying much attention to him. But then he started saying things, and I was like, are you just a hater or what? Because like he was coming out with things, and I was like watching, well, not watching, listening. I was like, okay. There was the whole Lando's losing his cool because Oscar's there. I was like, what do you mean because Oscar's there? Yes, Oscar's actually in the car shouting at Lando. And
He's no longer picturing Andrea on his shoulder. He's picturing
Oscar.
And then I don't even remember what he said during quali, but I'm pretty sure he angered me and I wanted to put him on mute. And then the race came. And I turned on the TV at 5:30 in the morning. And the first thing I heard was Lando's not notoriously good at starts. And I was like, have you been watching this season? Because like yes. Because I have to say Lando's starts this season have been very, very good.
He's improved for sure.
And like at the end of last season, probably from like Singapore, he was slaying. What else did he say? He said, oh, Lando's made a lot of silly mistakes this season.
Show me the proof.
Are we watching the same season? Because it doesn't seem. What silly mistakes has Lando made this season?
Maybe he meant last season.
Well,
I hope so.
He said this season. And I was like, bro. And then the one that triggered me the most. After the pit stops, this man came on the commentary, and went, are we gonna see a repeat of Hungary, but the other way round?
I remember.
What?
My guy, please.
I was just speechless. I was like,
to be fair, I've seen a lot of people on social media being like, never thought I'd say this, but bring back Danica Patrick.
I think I'd see
Yes.
like gun to my head, Danica Patrick.
Yeah.
But like he also was low-key kind of rude to Crofty. Like
he did cut Crofty off a lot.
And when Crofty was like throwing him something and like making a joke, he was giving nothing back.
Get him out of here.
He was giving nothing. I don't know if he's going to be there this week.
Give me Jensen Button.
Yeah, can we bring back Nico Rosberg? Can we have Nico Rosberg back too?
Yes, Nico was iconic.
He's such a king. But I think that concludes my rant about Jacques Villeneuve. McLaren, I don't really know what you did this week, apart from whatever was going on in the pit stops. I think that they were kind of all right. I didn't think they did anything wrong this week.
Social media is up in arms about it, but what's new? Apparently,
They always are.
the Oscar fans just hate each other, so it's about time we just learn to accept it and live in harmony.
Like, I don't get why people are still ranting about this, right? Online, it's been 2 days. We can't teleport back in time and go and change this race. It already happened at the end of the day. McLaren isn't going to listen to you because you're your person on Twitter saying, McLaren, you're so bad.
Yeah,
Definitely.
this is why I don't understand. Like, do you think like the McLaren pit will sit around Twitter in their strategy meetings and go, right, what are the 13-year-olds saying? Let's go.
But yeah, anyway, ran over. Period. Let's go.
One last thing I want to throw in is that I'm seeing people going on about, is there a championship fight unfolding? Guys,
Listen closely.
we've had 3 races. Let's calm down. But yes, as of right now, Max Verstappen is only 1 point behind Lando Norris in the standings.
It's scary.
How far's Oscar?
Oscar's
Not
on
too far.
Oscar's on 49.
Oh, no,
Lando's on
that's
62.
30.
So yeah, it's a bit nervy, but it's okay. It's okay. I have faith. Everything's gonna be fine.
I believe in him.
I believe in Lando, but it's okay.
Let's
Red
go.
Bull, bring back the tractor, please.
No, it's fine because Andrea said that they're working on the upgrades they're bringing are more like towards Lando's driving style. Is
Okay.
what he said.
Now the Oscar fans are gonna kick off.
I was gonna say that's not good news for the
Yeah,
Oscar
I've
fans.
seen this. I've seen him kick. He wasn't like, we're gonna make the car just for Lando. He was like, Lando's unhappy with how it's driving, so we're looking at bringing more things
Just
to make him.
you can't
Oh,
win.
oh, you're back. Oh,
Oh, oh,
oh, oh,
oh, oh.
oh.
There we go.
You're back. You're back.
Is it me? She's
Yeah.
Oh,
No, oh, is she back?
I think you're good.
You're good. You're good.
hello,
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
bro. My Wi-Fi saying I have full bars.
Yeah, mine always says that, and I still die. So it's the game at the end of the day.
It's the game.
Oh.
Oh no. She's got. Oh, there she is.
Oh, you're back.
I would like to discuss a job with you. Please add my number on WhatsApp.
What? I would like to.
Indeed, please add my number on WhatsApp.
You want a job? Bro, offer you a job.
Bruh, it's McLaren.
Exactly. Put well.
Zach Brown's calling you, bro. What the hell?
Zach Brown's calling me, guys. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is time for our memes of the week. Who wants to go first?
No, once again, you have forgotten something.
Podium predictions are coming after.
No, they come before.
First then.
No, because they always come first, and then meme of the week. Go, Lucy. Anyway,
No,
you're first
no,
on the
I don't
list.
want to go first. I don't feel like it this week.
No, well, tough. You're first on the list. You cannot break the order.
I don't really want to go first.
Okay, Lucy's getting no points. She's already cooked in this game anyway. Already cooked.
It's not how this works. What even is the next race? Saudi Arabia, right?
Bahrain.
Bahrain. Saudi Arabia's after that. Bahrain. Okay, who's gonna cook in Bahrain?
This when she pulls out the unhinged, it's gonna be like
I don't know. Should I just do an unhinged podium for absolutely no?
maybe you might get some points. Maybe you might.
No, I'm gonna cook. Watch. I'm gonna get some points.
Okay, let me write it down to put on the spreadsheet.
Lando in first.
No freaking way, bro.
I'm not having Max overtaken. Max in second. George in third.
Ooh.
Sorry, I got really distracted because the moon's out, but it's only 4 p.m.
Well, yeah, the moon can still be out.
All right, I was just looking at it. The moon's not normally there. The sunrise is there, and now the moon's there. So I was just a tad confused. Right? The sun rises over that building and facing my house because I get blinded by it every morning. So it's just a bit concerned. The moon's normally over there, now it's over here.
This move.
I was just confused.
Is it?
I was like, why is the moon there?
Physics, you're giving Jack a doing, you need to understand.
Physics.
Right.
Go on, Brooke. Go,
Okay,
Brooke.
so I think Lando number 1.
Oh, gosh.
I want Max on the not want, but I think Max to be on the podium, but I don't want to put him second because I don't want to people to be like, you're copying Lucy.
Yeah, I'll say that. Copying me.
Yeah, Lucy will literally say that straight away.
Yes.
It's me.
I think.
Go on, put Max second. How dare you?
No. I'm
Copy
gonna
scared of you now. Look what you've done.
I'm gonna put Oscar second, and then I'm gonna put Max third.
Perth. Anyways, so I went through the data of preseason testing this morning to have a look.
We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look.
So I've come to the conclusion that McLaren were fast during preseason testing. No way. I was looking at race runs, everything. So I'm gonna go McLaren 1-2, Lando, Oscar, even though Bahrain is not a track that we're notoriously. But you don't have to mention that. And then I had a look at the other data, and I'm gonna put George Russell in P3. Because the Mercedes were like pretty fast. And I don't trust Ferrari. Even though they were fast, but no one knows what they're doing with that car.
I almost put Charles on the podium. Like, I just don't know.
Okay.
No idea.
We're running out of time though, so we gotta do our memes of the week. Freaking fast. So my meme of the week reflects that race. It has a double meaning of the fans and also the McLaren pit wall.
I've got mine pulled up. I'll go. This is me talking about F1 to my friends who don't want to hear about it. Yeah.
Mine was just not even related to anything. It's just George Russell. I'm too posh for this. Because I saw it and I was like, "Fact, that's so George."
That's
Fact.
How the cookie crumbles.
And that brings us to the end of our episode. So we will see you guys next week, where we will discuss all things Bahrain, and we will also do our podium predictions for Saudi Arabia, which is the week after. Yeah, anyone have anything to add?
John.
John.
That's it.
Although,
That's the video.
I don't say John is this way, because me looking at it, John is that way. But
John
I feel like John's this way.
John is.
So in the recording, John might be here.
I
Or
look
he
like
might
an
be here.
emoji.
John. So thank you, John, for joining us again this week. You've been a brilliant listener.
Very good input from John this week.
Very good listening skills from John there. He clearly paid attention in primary school. He used his listening ears.
No,
well done, John. Well done. Gentle hands. Gentle hands. And we will see you guys next week, where hopefully there's less grass fires.
And more drama.
Well,
A bit more of an
we're
entertainment.
racing.
I want, yes, a more exciting race, please.
We're racing.
On controversy.
And we're going to end that there before Beth gets cancelled. Cue the outro.
We don't play. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hold up.